I came back to talk about this, to talk about energy, the law of thermodynamics, and how it relates to us as humans. So it matters because, like I always say, humans, we are all just made of chemicals. Primarily, our primary chemical that we're made of is dihydrogen monoxide. And if you don't know, that's just H2O, water, dihydrogen monoxide. Dihydrogen is 2 hydrogen molecules, and monoxide is 1 oxygen molecule. So when you break us all down, just like we broke down water, that's all we are is chemicals. So we function literally the same way that everything else in the universe functions. So to point that out, I brought along our book, or a book. It's a physiology book. And before I read what I want to read about energy in this book, I want to say that physiology is like how the systems in the body work. And the one thing that I hope you take away from this is the understanding that our thoughts, like we talked about before in our vibration, our thoughts become our frequency, but also our thoughts generate a physiological response in our bodies, literally. So when we think a positive thought, it generates an overall physiological response in our body. And if it's positive, then naturally it's going to generate a positive physiological response. And so what that might be a sense of stress relief, a sense of relaxation, a sense of completeness, a sense of no anxiety, all that kind of thing. In contrast, our negative thoughts will generate a negative physiological response in our bodies. And what would that look like? It will come in the form of like tension or mucus buildup, and that mucus builds up onto the cells, and it forms or sticks somewhere, because if we constantly generate a negative frequency and constantly induct negative physiological responses on the body, that's just the automatic thing that happens, is that it builds up somewhere and becomes some form of dis-ease, like maybe cancer or inflammation or just whatever overall. So I'm just going to read directly from this book. It says thermodynamics is the study of energy use, okay? And it says 2 basic rules govern the transfer of energy in biological systems and in the universe as a whole. So it's saying in biological systems and in the universe as a whole. And I think it points that out because we don't recognize ourselves as humans as being part of the greater scheme of things. Like, we can't fathom that when we look up and what we see in the sky and the stars and the different planets, we can't fathom that we're a part of that. So the first law of thermodynamics, also known as the law of conservation of energy, states that the total amount of energy in the universe is constant. Okay? So it's constant. Like, there's a set amount. It's not created. It's not destroyed. It's there. It's there. We could call it the Tao. We could call it God. We could call it the sun. We could call it heat. We could call it fire. We could call it a presence. We can call it whatever we want to call it. But that energy is a constant. It's always there. There's a set amount of it already. Okay? The universe is considered to be a closed system. Nothing enters and nothing leaves. Okay? Energy can be converted from one type to another, but the total amount of energy in a closed system never changes. All right. So next, and we're not going to read a whole bunch of this. Just this video will be probably 2 more minutes, and that's it. I just want to make this point. And it says the human body is not a closed system. We know that. I'm breathing in oxygen right now, right? Breathing in oxygen, that's not a closed system. And I'm also exhaling oxygen. The human body is not, you know how it works. Breathe in oxygen, exhale carbon, all that. The human body is not a closed system. However, as an open system, it exchanges materials and energy with its surroundings. Okay? Because our bodies cannot create energy, they import it from outside in the form of food. By the same token, our bodies lose energy, especially in the form of heat to the environment. Energy that stays within the body can be changed from one type to another or can be used to do work. Okay? The second law of thermodynamics states that natural spontaneous process moves from a state of order to a condition of randomness or disorder, also known as entropy. So we won't delve all into that. What we want to take away from that understanding is that the energy that we have in our bodies, we can control it. And the way that we control it is with our thoughts. Okay? So every time we think a positive thought, we force more positive physiological responses in our bodies, in our surroundings, in our universe. Okay, so essentially, the better that I make myself, the better that I can make you be, because you're part of the universe. That's where you get into people understanding this concept of the one, is that we are all connected somehow, and we are moving to a greater consciousness together. I would encourage you, if you go to the website beingtruelove.com and go look under the section of I think it's called astronomy and the stars or something like that, but I think it's like the second to last tab if you want to really get an understanding of that. But all that we are is an exchange of the energy that's there. We can convert that energy into more positive, but we can't delete that energy. We can all collectively choose to let that energy work for us and raise our vibration and consciousness, or we can choose to let that energy be a negative energy. Okay, so I say all that to say that our thoughts are so important. What we put out to the universe is so important. Judgment is a negative energy. I have no judgment for anyone who does not agree or who lives a different lifestyle where they are constantly promoting negative thoughts. I have no judgment to that, and I definitely believe that is why the saying is true: be the change you wish to see in the world, because a change in me is a change in you. If you're in my environment, slowly you will begin to change, or vice versa. Your energy will spill over to me. Positive energy is much stronger than negative energy. However, it might not seem so all the time, but positive energy is definitely stronger than negative energy. So, thank you for watching. I hope all that made sense. Please let me know what you think about that in the comment section. If you think it's just a bunch of bull, that's okay too. This is just, everything is a perception, but this is definitely what I subscribe to, and everything in the universe has kind of played back to me that it's okay to believe that this is true. I know it's true. I've studied and continue to study on my own and with different groups. I assign myself to a lot of meetups. That's what I spend my extra time on if I'm not working or trying to spend time with my family. Meetups where I could just gather with people who have interest in the things that I do, such as energy and quantum physics and stuff like that. Definitely not the smartest book on the shelf. I am very much an explorer at what I do. I like to explore things and like to gain knowledge. And again, it doesn't make anyone better than anyone else, but I do hope that maybe something I said will help you to want to create a more positive self and a more positive energy in your own life, okay? Because it helps all of us. So thank you for watching.